I want to start off with a little known fact. 50%, more than 50% actually now, of the hotel rooms in the United States are owned by Indian Americans, immigrant Indian Americans. I had a front row seat seeing this story unfold beginning in the 1980s, not only in my own home, but in the home of my uncles, aunts, and friends. When I met Jay in college, he became my closest friend. And he is now my life partner and business partner. When Jay and I began getting to know each other, and I learned that his parents also own motels and hotels. And so as second generation hotel developers, we have the luxury of the survival well-being principle established. We now have a choice. We now have latitude. We can now build on the different domains of well-being and open ourselves up and pursue self-actualization. Immersions. We've done 2 rounds of community immersions where we've connected with people in the Charlotte community from the arts scene, from the food and beverage scene, the civic and activist scene, even the business scene. We have gone to these individuals and to their spaces just to listen, to see how they are experiencing Charlotte. What pain points are they experiencing? What gain points are they experiencing? What's working well for them in the landscape of hotels currently in Charlotte? And not even just hotels, just being a member and a resident in the Charlotte community. What's going on? What can we glean? And how can we then turn that into something that we can address as being part of the ecosystem in the community as a hotel? We're doing a series of community sprints. And in those sprints, what we will be doing is relinquishing decision-making as a developer into the neighborhood on a couple of key questions. Questions like, how should we program the public space in the hotel? Hotels typically have thousands of square footage in their public space that goes underutilized after breakfast. So how do we really bring the heart and the soul of the hotel to life? Well, in our mind, it's first designing around the needs of the community, the desires of the community. How can this gathering space be utilized for some of the things that the community may benefit from or add to the community, not take away or not even be neutral? And so that will be one of the questions that we explore with members of the community. The needle. So Jay, myself, and his brother are seeing creating our own brand as the new frontier, as the way that we think our generation can push the needle. And in that brand, we want to tell this story, this immigration story that has happened in the hotel space through the medium of the hotel itself. We want to demonstrate our mastery in hospitality, and we want to deliver our version of hospitality and uplift the principles of community. And
thanks, Namisha, for sharing your story. My question is, why Charlotte, of all cities in the country?
It happens to be our backyard. It happens to be a growth city where the financials will be supportive of the approach that we want to take. And also, we believe now that as we've been doing the work, we have expanded to a Southeast regional strategy because we feel like there's more of a strategic white space in the marketplace for a product like this, a product that tells a story in the hotel sector, where we can stand out.
We moved here a year ago to work on this project because we knew that understanding and becoming a part of the community was going to be important for us to actually know what the actual issues were and actually to be immersed in that. And so that's been the first thing, is having a series of conversations. And as we are looking at what we're going to be doing, they're going to have, we're going to really rely on those folks as we do our next round of community design sprints and conversations around what is going to be some of the key factors that they want to see take place in this space when regards to the public space.
You mentioned something about property taxes, and I guess it was kind of disparaging. We have property taxes because it's a responsibility of every citizen in a community to pay for a public school education because every citizen benefits
just
from
a clarification. Just a clarification. What I was saying was that why should the funding of a school district be tied to the property taxes of that district? Because what's that? The property values is what I meant. Yes. So property values
That's
of a
what you-
district. Yeah. So that's what I meant to say. Yeah. So
Okay.
there's a disparity in school district funding depending on the property values in that district, because the funding for schools comes from property taxes, and property taxes are tied to property values. And so that I was suggesting that is probably problematic.